Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is when you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. So earlier this morning, I saw a post from Coach Prime, and included in the post, I think it starts off with this question, like, why are you forgiving everyone else except yourself? And it really struck me, you know, and I started to think about the forgiveness that I have extended to people. I've shown grace for people. I've been tolerant of people. I've, really stretched to make people believe and feel the extent to which I believe in you, right? And no matter what has happened, no matter what you've done, I want you to know that, redemption is possible. And, if you put in the effort, you can accomplish great things. And as I was thinking about that, that my desire, my interest in showing up for people that way, I was reminded of a conversation. Well, this is like I was in grad school, and so I studied counseling. And as part of the program, we participated in group therapy. And at one point in our session, one of my fellow students was describing this process by which she had been, really accommodating people and, showing people grace and mercy and forgiveness and all this kind of stuff. And I've forgotten what was contemporary for her, but she's like, this is basically the way I move, my mode of operation. But right now I've got to, I'm dealing with somebody and I feel so depleted and I feel so discouraged. I just don't know what to do. And at this point, one of our professors, who was also a practicing psychologist, he looks over and he says, "Oh, I see. You've been making love to them the way you really want them to make love to you." And it was an aha moment for a lot of people in the room, and myself included. But today, in particular, I really see myself in that exchange, and I realize that the extent to which I have tried to show up for other people really is a reflection of the way I wanted them to show up for me, right? And then when they don't show up for me that way, I start to feel discouraged. I start to feel depleted. I start to feel, disrespected even, right? But then today I came to another level of realization, which is the grace that I would want for them to, show me is really the way that I should show it for myself. In reality, they aren't so obliged to know that or be that way. It's really I who need to show up for myself. I need to forgive myself for mistakes. I need to forgive myself for frailties or incongruencies, right? And at the same time that I forgive myself and show myself grace, I also need to make sure that I require people to show up for me, though. I have to set some standards that are non-negotiable, and I have to ensure and require that you have to, bring your A game, right? And I made a video about this a couple of months ago, so this has really been on my mind for a couple of months, but it has come back to me again in another wave and from another angle, and so I want to share it because it's like I'm seeing it and experiencing it again for the very first time. And it is, I think, also coupled with the message that we received during our, my morning devotion, right? Where I went to Shango and making offerings. And in the process, Shango relays the message about a man, right? Now, this was I was doing the prayers not only for myself but for the collective. So, I liberalized it for all. However, now I can see the way the message pertains to me in particular, right? It talks about, someone who is aspiring to have a very large influence, to influence a large body of people. And the sacrifice that he needs to do, the offerings that he needs to make, the way he needs to feed the people. And by feeding the people, that is how they're going to be devoted. What he feeds them is what they're going to feed back, right? So he feeds them sweetness, they're going to feed back sweetness. He feeds them, something that's savory and tasty, they're going to feed back something savory and tasty. He feeds them something nutritious, they're going to feed him back something healthy and nutritious, right? So I need to feed people with really high quality, high standard efforts and show up in a really high quality way. And I have to also require and expect that as I'm feeding you, you must feed me back. That is a rule of engagement. And so based on that, I'm really excited about requiring that everyone who's in my circle of influence brings their A game all the time, every time, because that's what I'm going to do. So if you're with me, you can be sure that I'm going to bring my A game. And if you're with me, you better be sure that you are bringing me your A game. So this is a message, as always, for the leaders. I'm looking for people who want to improve the world through positive influence. If you're one of those people, find out how Obafemi Origun and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help you take your practice and your life to the next level. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com, and let's start working together to help you live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you are destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odabo.